Okay, it should work. So, hello everyone. I hope everything is working after Christmas and that basically everything is working. So, okay, it works. I heard myself. So, yeah, basically, if anyone is new in here, my name is Eric Szczygieł and I'm doing art and stuff. So, feel free to like, subscribe, or whatever. Today I will be finishing on the troll most likely, and I need to do some touch-ups on the background. And I will start a new one, most likely today, from the sketches that I have. I will do Orc or the Cyclop. I'm not sure. I'm kind of leaning toward the Cyclop. I kind of prefer him. So, but yeah, but this is pretty much what I plan to do today. And as always, if any of you have any questions whatsoever, or you just want to know something, you want to you would like me to see your artwork or whatever, feel free to write, comment, ask questions or whatever. I will answer best to my abilities. And yeah, this is pretty much all. So for the plans, I kinda want to add some details, kinda want to clean up some areas, add some like final touches, but mostly I want to just work a little bit more on also on the background, because there's some things in the mountains or on the grass that are kind of bothering me, so I need to simply clear those, and everything should be ready. So it will be a little bit more slow and a little bit more casual live stream. So yeah, I am absolutely filled with food after Christmas, so I feel even slower than I used to be. So today I will not be rushing anything. It's time to do everything nice and slowly. So yeah, so remember, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. It will be easier for me to pick up a topic or whatever. And if you don't want to listen to me, what might be a case, just mute me, put me on a second screen, on a phone or whatever, and just draw alongside with me. This is also a valid idea. And this is also like one of the ideas that I had when I started the entire live stream ideas. So just for the viewer to have like a companion to draw alongside with. And yeah, this is pretty much it. So now I will be adding some veins and stuff here and there, because veins are just like a nice detail. They usually really nicely sit on the geometry, and they also allow to show a little bit of the geometry, because you can like rub them around the shapes and everything. And yeah, and I kind of think I should work a little bit more on the face, make it a little bit more like clean and clear, or sharp maybe. So yeah, this is the general ideas for today. So a lot of small things needs to be done. And yeah, and also I hope all your Christmas, if you like, just if you happen to, what is the word? If you happen to be celebrating Christmas, I hope everything was fine and that you had a beautiful time. So, and that you have a lot of new energy to go into the new year and to start cool new stuff, cool new projects, and cool new everything. Because usually during Christmas, everyone is regaining their power, or at least should, unless they are getting absolutely tired with the family meetings and everything, because this is also very often a case. And from the other funny stories, a friend of mine finally started playing Dark Souls, so I can stop bitching at him for never playing Dark Souls, and he is doing kinda fine. He had to restart the game because by accident I wrongly led him into the Tomb of Giants, and I forgot that the area is closed if you do not do several other things, and it was pretty much impossible for him to like track back because of the spiny skeletons, like of the rolling skeletons, because they are a little bit mental. And yeah, but he started from scratch and everything is going much faster, which is also cool. And he is usually live streaming them, like the gameplay, to me when I'm like working on a site. So yeah, it is kind of cool. And with the troll, the problem is now I am at the stage where I only can like refine and refine. It's really hard to pretty much add anything to it. So at this point, I really need to be cautious to not overdo it anywhere. So to not like overwork it in some places. So it won't be end up like being really stiff or something like this. Because at this point, it's almost ready, but it's really hard to decide when it actually is ready. So maybe after painting like the second monster or the second creature, I should like revisit each one of them and just go over with like one pass over everyone, like over every single monster, because this might just help to unify the looks of pretty much everything. And if I want this project to look nicely, the unified look is definitely really important. Also, if any of you have any like technical questions or whatever, feel free to ask them. I will see what I can do with it. And what is always really weird for me when I'm doing the live streams is the fact that I cannot listen to any music, because most likely the stream will pick it up. So I have to work in complete silence and just listen to me talking, which I'm still not really used to. It's still a bit weird to like listen to myself all the time. So yeah, live streaming is never going to be easier, I think. Some small cool details and shit. I do think finishing the illustration is like my favorite part, because I can basically use all the small tricks and everything, and since pretty much every single like value and color and everything is established, I can really quickly add different stuff or remove different stuff to make the entire thing look much nicer. But on the other hand, I really like the exploration part, because then you can be much more loose. You don't really need to like decide on anything concrete really early on, so you can just be a little bit more free with the to like follow every single thing, and you don't need to try to be uniform with everything that you do in the early stages. So yeah, but rendering usually is fun. You can just like switch off your brain on the later stages, and you can just like work on it and refine it and refine it, and at some point it will just look, or it should look, much nicer. So yeah, with the details around the waistcloth, I don't think I will be adding much, only like those type of like torn edges and whatnot, because I was experimenting with some like straps around the character, like to add more of them, but it was not really working well. I kind of felt it looked a little bit artificially, kind of like the type of detail that no one would actually wear or use. So I don't think I will be keeping it. I kinda just need to work over this area, and I will switch to the background. And the background, I do believe I will be like reworking several times, in a sense that with every single monster I will be slightly increasing the amount of details in the background. So I'm not really sure if I should like finish the first one and post it, for example, on our station or whatever, or to finish all monsters. I believe there's 6 or 7 of them, because I feel like there will be quite a lot of changes in the background. So I'm not sure how to really approach it. And a cool thing that you can also do, let me go to display capture. is to go to Window and Workspace, and not Workspace but Arrange, new window for troll rendering. So this way I have like doubled windows, and you can go to Arrange to up vertical, and now I can like work on the one screen, and the second one will update. So for example, in here, as you can see, I can like do this, and in here it will update. So it is actually quite fun and quite cool that something like this is possible, because now I can like paint and constantly check how it looks like in a like smaller scale. So when I see the entire painting, which is really cool. This is a neat trick, and especially if someone is not really using the Procreate and they want to record the process videos, this way you can like basically just do this type of a thing, and yeah, and you can basically record only the left part, or just trim the recording of the entire screen. So this way you will have a better control over the image, and it will be static. This is like a huge thing, because the problem with recording the screen when you're painting, at least for me, is that I tend to like rotate around, and I tend to do really a lot of movement on the canvas. So the really sped up videos are getting kind of like crazy, because everything is like rotating all the time. And I tend to rotate a lot because I am using a really old Intuos, so I don't have like a screen that I can see, and I just have like this favorite angle that I like to work with, and basically this angle is really comfortable for me, so I tend to like rotate the screen to work on in the comfortable zone, in a sense. I'm kind of thinking if I should add any clouds in here. I guess I will search in the web clouds to see if clouds sunny day, to see if any of those will be like a nice fit, because I kind of feel some clouds will make the painting a bit better. So let me test it quickly. I kind of do like it, how it looks like. I do believe I do need to paint over those clouds a bit, so they won't be so uniform. The kind of funny thing is that the sky color that I have in here pretty much fits perfectly to what I already had on the canvas, which is kind of rare. I usually really mess up the color of the sky. I tend to like really pretty much just choose the wrong hue. Usually I go a little bit too much with a little like too much cyan and stuff like this. But yeah, and stuff with the clouds is, if you're adding the clouds in the background, make sure they are not overexposed, so that they don't have like those extremely bright white areas, because this will make the entire painting just look a little bit odd. I'm not sure if I want to have the clouds. They definitely nicely balance out. Yeah, I do want to have the clouds, because they really nicely balance out the entire canvas. Kind of want the clouds to be a little bit more like horizontal here and there. Also, a really cool trick if you are going to paint clouds is to just take a really strong like brush and a really strong smudge tool, and then you can basically like smudge with the clouds. So you can basically like paint with whatever the smudge grabs, and for clouds it tends to work really nicely. I do believe the first time I have seen this technique, it was by Matthias Zamensky in one of his videos. He even had some like brushes dedicated to doing clouds. I do believe it was the first time where I saw it. So yeah, I never tried this method that much. I actually never really liked to paint clouds because clouds are just hard. And really rarely I am painting a daylight scenes. I usually tend to keep everything much darker and a little bit more evil. So this one is pretty much a new for me. So I'm trying to paint an outdoor scene. But yeah, if I want to improve, I have to just basically get out of my comfort zone. And I do believe this amount of clouds is like, it's enough. So something a little bit more crazy in here. This is the layer for the troll, so let me turn him off for a second. And this is the background. And I want to turn off the troll, so I want to see where I'm actually painting, so I can get rid of some like impurities on the canvas, so it could look a bit nicer. So I don't really want too sharp of a lines to be visible. So like at this moment, the transition between this color and like the brighter color and darker color is way too strong. So I kind of want to soften this up so it won't be as prominent. And yeah, it should look okay. This is the troll. Yeah, so for the ground, what I also can do is to grab the brightest layer and go over the grass and add a screen, or maybe even the overlay layer, because the overlay will give me this like golden type of a reflected light, golden hue on the ground, and I kind of want it to be like in here, but I tend to do it first way too strong, and then I just like slightly lower the opacity. So for example, like 15% should be more than enough for it. And on the grass over, I need to take a brighter color and just add some brighter strands of grass, even brighter, so they will like have a really nice like brightness to them. Here I can like zoom out, so I will have basically a thumbnail type of a size in here. And yeah, now I need to just work on some of the transitions, because the thing that I really want in here to be visible is the layering of a grass, so there won't be like lines that are kind of cutting each other. Kind of want the entire thing to feel really natural, so the stuff like here should like go over and cover some stuff, but not be too bright. And I think it looks fine in this stage. So let me also in the background add a brighter layer, white, to slightly increase the feeling of a aerial perspective. So set it to screen and just so slightly like 15% or something like this, because I kind of want the color to slightly go over the golden hues, so they will be a bit dimmer, so it won't be like gold. It's a really subtle thing, but I think it adds a bit of a realism to the painting. So yeah, with this dude, This is the adjustment. I feel this area just needs a bit more work, and we can start the next creature. This here. Whoops. And also from the recent things that I have seen, there's a movie, Don't Look Up. I really highly recommend it. It's a really nice and really interesting movie. It's kind of fun, and it pretty much really nicely shows what we are doing wrong, in a sense. I heard some opinions it's really similar to Idiocracy. I don't remember, like I think I have seen the Idiocracy, but I don't remember anything from this movie. But a lot of people say it's like basically not predecessor, but like a movie in a really similar vibe. So it is really fun, and it's just like a really nice comedy in a sense. And also I have seen the Matrix 4, and I have really mixed feelings because I never really cared about Matrix that much. I heard the new movie is kind of like a garbage, and I went into this movie having like absolutely zero expectations, like -1 expectation. And if you just lower your expectations enough, then this movie is kinda okay. You can kinda like enjoy it. And the VFXs are nice, the CGI is nice in some places. Generally, it's a bit like dumb in terms of like explaining some things and justifying some things. They just went with a really like low type of an effort to explain some of the stuff. But other than that, it's just like a solid 5 out of 10, I would say. So if anyone is wondering if it's worth watching, if you like Matrix, don't. If you don't really care, like pretty much as I don't, then watch it. It might be a pretty okay-ish movie to just watch and to switch off your brain. So yeah, I kind of wonder what the color auto contrast will say if I were to like flatten everything in here. Try it. Let me crop it. And let's check image auto color. It wants to add this greenish hue. Auto contrast changes not much. Auto tone makes everything like chemically blue. Yeah, I prefer this version. So let me remove this one. Let me remove this one, and let me remove the lines for it. Grass over. Kind of feel this. This thing should be brighter in here. Exposure for like 5%. Yeah, the dodge tool is one of my favorite because it really allows you to quickly fix some areas without like overworking them, and it really nicely adds like some lights. For example, if I want something to be slightly brighter, it really does make everything a bit easier. So if there's like one tool that I highly suggest you to like learn, is to learn the dodge tool. It can really do wonders. Oh, I will work on the teeth a bit more because they are pretty much in the focal area, and the teeth area can always be slightly more finished. So yeah, so to get rid of small errors like this. And in here I'm not sure what color of the gums this guy should have, because he pretty much has like a purple skin, so I do believe his like eating habits are a bit different, and I wonder if like eating can discolor your gums, so they're kind of a little bit more on the like purple-ish side, I think, but I'm not sure if I should make them more real or even more weird in terms of color. Definitely want to add some plague on teeth, because I don't want this fella to have like a perfect teeth. They don't really care about the hygiene of a mouth. Well, oh, and also in the eye, I can kind of reflect some of this like golden type of a hue. So there will be a bit more stuff happening in the eye. It's usually a really small type of a detail. It's usually not that visible, but making a nice eye, a nice realistic reflection in an eye, can really make your character much more alive. Usually even adding this small highlight type of a thing is like more than enough to like basically bring back your character from the dead. So like, do I want him to have eyebrows? Some, maybe. Yeah, the detail is barely visible, but it's there, so I will keep it. Okay. I would say at this stage that this dude is finished. I don't think I can do much more to him to make him look better, so I do believe I can like call it maybe just the hand to be slightly brighter. Yeah, I do believe I can call him like done. So this is like the troll final, and let me just skip offline on Twitch. I will see. Might be. Kanał. I have no idea why it's not working on Twitch. Let me check YouTube. Does it work? I have no idea why. No, on YouTube it's working nicely. Dropped frames. Oh, I'm dropping frames like crazy. But no, I don't know why it's not working on Twitch. It should. I don't even think I can like see on Cloudbot dashboard. No, I can't see if it's not working, why it's not working on Twitch. Maybe I need to switch something on Twitch. So let me check it again. Kanał. On Twitch it says like 29 minutes. I stopped doing it, like the live stream. So I have no idea why it is not working. But it shows there should be like the newest video. Not a single clue why it's not working. Most likely something in the settings of the live stream. because it only shows there is like a 30-minute clip of the entire thing. So yeah, I guess YouTube only will be working for today. What is a bit odd. What it shows there should be like the newest. No, not sure why, but yeah. So I can turn off this view, connect those two. So from here I want to get rid of this guy. And a really important thing is to recently there's like a lot of problems with streaming. I don't know why. Like, half of the stuff is not really working as it should. So if this is the height of a human and more or less this is the horizon line, this basically means that the height of a human, like in here, will be like this tall. In here he would be like this tall. And this is important because I want to take yeah, I will do a cyclops. If I want to take the character that is bigger, that's much bigger than the troll, because on the scale, as you can see, troll is basically like in the height of the elbow of the creature. So normally if he would stand in the same place, he would look like this. But because he can't, I need to kind of like move him a little bit back, because I don't want to rescale the entire I don't want to rescale the canvas. So duplicate this fella. So if there is like, we can say in here there's like the middle of the legs, I can basically do something like this. Duplicate him and move him to the back, where he would be like this, the visible type of a height. Or I can do it even simpler, and I can just can remove the human, and I can just mark the area where the height of the troll is. So let me get rid of this. So this is troll height. Oops. Horizon line. Whoops. And this dude must be like, yeah, in here. He should be standing like a bit in the background more. Oh, let me check it. Well, Imgur. Yeah, the thing is, let me open it in here. New. Yeah, so this is for this. The thing that I recently kind of like relearned, because this was a thing that I was kind of aware of, but I kind of forgot about it. If you're sketching, don't try to like keep the lines all like really tight, and don't try to like do everything with like one line. Much better it works when you just like try to sketch. So for example, if you would sketch the arm and just be kind of a little bit even more messy with everything that you draw, so you can just like kind of search for a shape a bit more, so you can like see how it would look like, and do shit like this and just like experiment with it. So for example, in here, like this arm protection and everything in here, just do something like this, and then just lower the opacity like ever so slightly, and then just do the same thing but in a little bit more controlled manner. So you will have all this like sketchy information underneath it, but now you can kind of like rework some of the lines, and you can work with like really uniform type of a brush. So you will be working with like one, let's say one size for a brush, or something like this. And then, well, and then if you decide that, okay, now you need to kind of do the darker lines, then you can make another layer and just make the lines underneath darker that are in the shadows. So this way you can like really nicely control the line weight. So you can decide what type of a line you want to be the darkest, where you want them to be like the lightest, and shit like this. So this way it should be much simpler for you. Focus on the volume first, then try to add all the details, because for example in here, try to first like make him out of like really simple blocks, because if you will make him out of simple blocks, let's say like, where is the layer, like this, then you will know that everything that is like around it should like warp like this. If we would say the thing that you want to draw will go like this, if it will go like this, of course then you will kind of need to like add those type of a distortion to it, and it will kind of create like all the weird shapes and everything. But try to think a bit more in terms of like the geometry, how the basic shapes would behave, because for example in here, if you were to add a leg, these things will like wrap around everything that is in here. So yeah, but other than that, it looks really okay-ish. It definitely is like visible. Also a cool thing that you can do, just take a photo of yourself in this pose and just analyze yourself over the pose, because it should be much easier this way. I guess I need to do it more. Yeah, line art is hard, honestly. Oh yeah, this sketch, just don't erase it, just keep it underneath everything, so it just should look a bit nicer, because you don't really need an extremely clean type of a thing. So yeah, now if I were to say this guy is like in here, let me just check how tall he would be. If like orange, I don't think it will be like really visible. It's not. This color is visible, so in here the troll more or less will be like this. So I need to still move this guy a bit more back and keep him taller, because what I want is the line of a troll to be more or less on the height of his elbow. Oh yeah, it should be something like this. So, well, let me remove it. Yeah, so basically let me just draw here. So I need to move him back, so I will have a bit more space on the ground, because he must be further back so the entire character could fit the canvas, because doing something like this basically makes the entire image look a bit better. For this, I will just place them like this, and then I will just like put them next to each other, because I kind of want the canvas to still look nice, to make the monsters still look nice on the canvas. Or I will just increase the canvas in the end, but I wanted to kind of avoid it. But yeah, sometimes you just have to do stuff like this. Okay, time to remove this, the color completely. And yeah, how do I want to approach it? Do I need to draw over this more? Yeah, for the sake of drawing. Layers, turn off. Yes, I'm placing like a whitewash underneath everything, so I will have easier time like looking at this guy. Yeah, so basically Rockcraft now, you will see how I would approach doing the lineup for this fella, because this could be enough, but I kind of feel like drawing, so yeah, I will go to like 50%, so it will be visible, but not that much. And yeah, delay opacity of this layer 100%. Turn on the opacity. Yeah, now I can kind of like draw him any way I wish. So I just kind of need to experiment with it. And I kind of want to do it this way because this way I will have slightly easier time later, like adding some details, and some of the lines I will most likely even leave like on in the drawing, like in a painting, or I can recolor it so it will look slightly nicer. Yeah, it's basically is like sculpting, so the only thing is we don't really see the volume that well unless you like wrap around everything. So, but this is also why I really like drawing with like directing the surface with the lines to like wrap around everything, because it allows me to really nicely understand the volume, because I can see how it behaves. So yeah, it basically is kind of like sculpting. Like even if you render everything, you kind of need to think like sculptor, because what you can do in, for example, ZBrush in 3D, it will like automatically relight everything. When you are painting, you kind of need to like prepare a base and then like slightly increase the density of all details and whatnot. So yeah. Sometimes, sometimes yes. Recently, much more often I work this way, because it's a bit easier to understand like a mass if you are working with a flat color. Like if you are just doing a shape, you can, let me put it this way. It's much easier to decide for me on what type of a shape I want instead of like drawing a circle. It is a bit more intuitive to do something like this, like let's say a lower opacity. I don't know why. I mean, I know why, but it's just easier for me to like understand what is going on, because I can see what type of a shape I really want to achieve, and then I can like work over it to like draw the details, because I do understand the volume. I kind of tend to imagine that highlights, midtones, when I do stuff like this, will it work? Oh no, it won't work. It's kind of weird that it's not working. What I tend to think is I immediately start to like doing stuff like this in my head. So I start imagining how the light would like wrap around the thing that I'm drawing, and then when I'm drawing, it's just easier for me to just draw all that. But since in here I have the sketch already done, I guess I will just draw over the sketch, because I do have quite, I believe, a good understanding on what I want to achieve. And because of this, it's a bit easier for me to process the information correctly. But yeah, sometimes I do start like this. So yeah, I should rename the live stream name to like a Cyclop type of a thing, but let's just make it be. Let's leave it as a troll. Smaller flow. Yeah, so in this case, I kind of want the school to be like much more thick and massive. So there will be like this one giant eyebrow type of a thing. And the nose will be kind of like flattened. So I can imagine if there's like a school, there's like the kind of like the eye socket, and the nostrils will look kind of maybe like this. So the nose will be kind of like flattened in the middle. So it will be a bit wider, and yeah. And in here there will be just like this massive type of a bone. With like a skin flap. But honestly, whatever process works for you, just use it. Sometimes I will just draw everything from scratch, and sometimes I will do the block out of the shapes. But this really depends on the thing that I'm going to draw. I think if recently when I have been trying to like draw some like human bodies to kind of like practice drawing just humans, uh, I lean toward blocking the shapes first instead of like drawing the geometry recently, because it's just a bit easier for me to control the proportions. But I definitely need to practice drawing humans much more, because I really lack in this area. It's like for the entire life I have been like mostly drawing monsters and whatnot, and they do allow you to kind of like skip on the proportions and everything. And yeah, honestly, yeah, honestly, really gladly. I always wanted to do some female art, but I just kind of suck at it. So I guess I will just have to embrace the suck and just go for it. I do have some like books that I wanted to study first and to like prepare a bit more to drawing this. But yeah, I had a plan to do this type of a drawings. I guess maybe if I will when I will finish the hero series, the heroes series with the city, because I have been thinking if I even want to like do other cities, and I don't really think so. I guess I will just do this one and call it a day. I won't redesign the other cities. Why? Yeah, just I don't think I want to. This is pretty much all the reasons. But yeah. I don't know. Most likely just like random drawings and just drawing stuff to practice. In this case, I don't think I will be like redesigning anything. I kind of feel like just designing stuff on my own, just for the sake of practice. So it's really hard to tell. But most likely no redesigns. Mm-hmm. Like the redesigns are like fun and everything, but on the other hand, they're like kinda limiting in a sense that you can do a lot with redesigns, but you're still not working on like your own ideas in a sense. And recently this has been like bothering me a bit, so I kind of feel like I need to just work on stuff that I kind of want to work on, like more on my personal stuff. So let's say I would just prepare some sort of a brief for like, I don't know, a magician, a sorceress, a druidess, wizardress, necromanceress, or whatever, and maybe I will just try to do something like this. Okay, what did I meant by all those lines? This will be a chainmail. This definitely will be a bitch to paint, because drawing and painting chainmail is just extremely hard. I have more or less the idea on how to do it, but it will require me to photobash a lot. So yeah, I kind of want to get everything in here first. Oh, and also what I want to do is to turn on the troll, duplicate him, cut him out, new, yes, yes, view, window, arrange to up vertical, and of course it's not where it should be. Go in here. Random objects and make character out of them. I am 99% sure I know what I will open, but let me check if this will be. Oh, no, I thought about someone else. I thought about Taco. Taco also does it, and Taco actually have a lot of cool tutorials and drawing and everything. But yeah, but what I wanted to do in here is to have the troll opened on a second screen, so I can like constantly see what type of a light setup do I want to have in here. So yeah. Yeah, there he should be on our station. I do believe he... Wait. Yeah, I would say the troll is finished like at the moment. But the guy I'm talking about is Taco Artation. Taco X Prisma Colors. It was him? No? Yes. Taco X Propic. Taco X Propic. Propic X Taco. So recently I have found him on their station. So if you go to the just like Propic and Taco, he does have like a fuckload of small tutorials like this. So yeah. But I don't remember his art station like handle. But Propic and Taco are really cool resources. And for this creature, I don't want him to be like extremely muscular. Yeah, later I will try to maybe just drop a link in the description of the video, because he does have a lot of cool character designs and everything. Yeah, and for this character, I don't want him to be like extremely like muscular. I want him to be kind of on the leaner side, but not on the shredded side. So he will be like skinny fat, kinda type of a guy, with some like stuff hanging over him. And I kind of wanted to make the Cyclops a bit more awkward, because he does not seem like, he never appeared to me as like the really intelligent type of a creature, and I kind of wanted to emphasize this like dumbness on his face. So I kind of wanted to make him look a little bit more like stupid in a sense. So I don't want to like even be aware of like his surroundings. Just want him to be like awkwardly stupid. This will be closer. And also because he is a bit taller, I can imagine he will have some like problems with his posture and everything, because this is usually what happens if you are like really tall. You tend to like develop all the problems with posture and whatnot. So I don't have really like problems with him having like one arm much longer than the other arm, or other stuff like this. I kind of want him to be a bit uneven. I feel it will add to the realism of this character. It's like one like a bit shorter, one like a bit longer, arms a bit like uneven, one hand maybe slightly bigger than the other. Or maybe even kind of like not really properly developed, because he, for example, might lack like a part of his finger or stuff like this. I do believe this like adds to the design of this creature. Yeah, but also if you would just write Taco X Propic in Pinterest, you will find like thousands and thousands of images of like small tutorials on how to draw human figures. So definitely one of the best sources out there. Hmm. So this is pretty much what I meant with this character. Maybe he will be missing a finger. Oh, this is kind of fun. So one hand can be like a little bit more developed, and one can be like just this awkwardly like big and just not developed. Or maybe he just shot off his finger with like a laser, because this dude is like firing lasers. Yeah, I mean, if you go to the people I follow on our station, definitely he is in there. But because I recently was just like going through his stuff, or maybe I'm just like imagining things, but I don't think so. I do think I have found his active account. But later I will search for it. I will check. I'm not like bullshitting you. Yeah, and also to this character, he does like his main attack is to shoot like laser off his eye. And if you are like a huge monster and you are not really bright, I can imagine shooting off your own finger with laser is definitely in a spectrum of the things that you could do that might happen really easily to you. So yeah, I do think it's in the realm of possibilities. Whoops. It's a bit more awkward. Arm. Some like stuff hanging from the bandages and the line, the things that he has in here. I wonder what those bots are. There's like Valve Tech and everything. Why are they spamming me? What I have done to them? I will need to like increase the amount of YouTube of the bots that it should check. Now on our station I'm not following any. Or at least I don't remember I do follow any. I don't even think I have ever seen hentai on our station, honestly. I don't think it's in there. Most likely there should be some, but now when I think about it, the only artist that I might follow that does a little bit more sexual type of an artworks is Maika Sozo. I do think I do follow her on Facebook. Not yeah, on Facebook too, but on our station too. But she's doing like really highly stylized type of a character, so. And I don't even remember where I found her. It was something like 10,000 years ago when I was just adding everyone, like every single artist that just had anything to do with art on Facebook, just to have like an interesting wall. I kinda want to draw him in a way that you could see those butt cheeks, like with this wedgie in here. Yeah, I will leave it like this at the moment. The wedgie looks nice. And the butt cheeks definitely add to the realism of this character. On the legs, those will be just like long tree stumps basically. Not a lot of definition will happen, just ever so slightly here and there. But mostly, maybe some of the muscles in here will be visible, but I don't want him to be like really shredded. Later I will also try to find a better reference for those shapes. This muscle definitely will be slightly visible, the one that goes like this to the pelvis. It usually is visible. The teardrop shape. I think of the live stream I will try to take a reference photo similar to this one, so I could like check and compare the stuff, how it actually would be visible, because it's not really convincing me that much, but I need to check it. Hello, Furious. Oh, by the way, I wonder if the Twitch stream is working or not. Let me see it. No, it's offline. Yeah, I will need to write to support of Streamlabs OBS, because this must be something on their end that it only allowed me to like stream for 30 minutes. Yeah, and for the things that I want to do slightly differently of this character, for this character, is the leg armor, because in the original he had like a really nice and tight kind of armor on his like legs, but I kind of want him to have like clunky piece of trash around him. Yeah, most likely yes, because recently I discovered I have been live streaming and just basically using internet of the Wi-Fi for like past, I don't know, week or something like this, because I just noticed that I accidentally unplugged the Ethernet cable from my Netgear type of stuff. So yeah, here's like the reason why recently the stream has been like lagging. It's because I was going 4K through the Wi-Fi. So yeah, not the smartest choice of me. But yeah. Most likely just OBS is just not working well. Hello, Mikołaj. Mm. Okay, those are kind of clear. And here I kind of just want to also have like a sharper line, because sharper lines are just like easier to draw with. So I don't really need to redraw everything that I do, because now I kind of like duplicating the info, but just for the sake of doing it, I will just finish it. So let me turn off the sketch underneath it. Which one is this? This is empty. This is this red dot. This is the sketch, so let me just go a bit like this. Cursor. Not really. Sometimes it's just so small that I can't see it, but sometimes it does disappear. But I guess it's just like some sort of a like visual bug or something like this. I recently was kind of thinking about like switching to like a tablet with a screen. I don't think I will do it anytime soon, because now I need to buy like other stuff, a little bit more urgent spendings. But I was kind of thinking about it to just like maybe try it. So let me know how the XP pen is working. Most likely I would go with Wacom, or however to read it, because I just trust this brand. I know they like do quality stuff, but the Cintiqs are on the expensive more side, so, and I don't really need it. Like the tablet that I use works really well, so there's like no need for me to like replace it or anything. Yeah, previously I tried to add this guy a little bit more fur, but I don't think he would be wearing any type of a fur. I kinda want him to have more like this type of a straps, some patches maybe, because I can imagine he does have some holes in his chainmail. He's not really like taking a good care of it. Yeah. I'm like 100% sure the quality is noticeably lower, because like one have to admit like that the vacuum really makes the quality products. But on the other hand, let's say the XP pen and everything won't hold on the market if they would do like complete utter shit. So most likely it's more than fine. It's more than enough. Like the only experience that I have with any other brand was only when I was teaching digital in Gdańsk, in like the physical classes, and usually if I had any problems, almost always it was Huyons, because most people in here had Huyon tablets, so a lot of problems I had with Huyons. Like the driver issues, the hardware issues, not compatibility issues, like weird behavior. The XP pen was really rare, so I can't really tell a lot about it, but I hope it will work. This is what I always tell. This tool is also important. And I kind of wonder how the fluidity of my work will improve if I were to draw with screen. It should be a bit better, but yeah, I'm not sure. Oh, I know what type of a reference I can use for those. Mm, Actually, this is a bit of a stretch. Possibly, yeah. I am actually thinking for this guy, the Miss Bikini from Olympia photos should be good because the leg position is almost identical, and yeah, and even the arm and everything is really similar. So I have no idea who she is, without any type of offense that I think she looks like a Cyclops. She does not, but the musculature type fits to what I want to achieve. So I will just dissect her. Because I want the muscles to be visible, but like kinda like in here. They are not like shredded because, for example, I did. Where is the other photo? It was somewhere in here a second ago. Where it is? Yeah, because for example, here is the other athlete, and well, and this amount of musculature will be way too much for this fella. So I wanted something a bit more soft in a sense, but yeah, not that much of a definition. Kinda, yeah, but in a sense that he would have a little bit more like fat on his like cheek, and the muscles will be slightly more blended. So there will be like some definition, but for example, you could see like the fat sitting on his thighs and everything, because yeah, basically yeah. And he would have a belly, like visible belly, if I will kind of like uncover him in this area. So this should work. So he will be slightly on the skinny fat type of a thing. But I kind of want to see how the muscles look like still. Because a lot of people who are skinny fat, for example, have like really thin legs. I mean, this is one of the versions of being a skinny fat, but you still can have like a noticeable belly or whatever. So yeah, so something like this. So mostly he will have like a residue on his neck. Also, I do think I remember when I was like starting to catch him, I was kind of thinking he should be like really skinny because he is shooting laser from his eye, and I can imagine this is like really energy demanding, so he should be skinnier because he is just using a lot of energy for it. Let me block out the shapes for this dude. And for blocking the shapes, I will reduce the opacity of the line art so I can make much clearer mask with much more smoothing. So I want the edges to be like relatively clean. Okay. And the good thing is in here, without any problems, I will be able to like keep the body parts separated without any problems. So the arms won't interfere with legs, because the hand is basically over the crotch area and over the pants. So really easily I will be able to manage to separate all the parts. If everything goes well, I should be able to even like slap a flat color on him today. So I kinda do want do the first shading passes on him. Flat color will be also the skin tone of her is really nice in terms of like making the Cyclops, because his skin is brown, I believe. I will need to search for a reference soon because I don't really remember his like color palette, but I do believe this hue of a skin will fit relatively nicely to this design. Or maybe it should be slightly darker, but still it will be with some like more orange hues. Whoops. Yeah, blocking out shapes is definitely one of the most boring things, but one of the most useful things. So it usually takes some time, but later it makes everything so much easier because you don't have to worry about like pretty much anything because everything is constantly sharp. So it's like one of these like boring but necessary steps. And you can kind of automatize it by like using the bucket tool and sampling all layers and whatnot, but it also makes the edge much sharper, so like much more jagged, because it will like take in consideration all the like imperfections of a line art. So it is faster, but it's also slightly uglier. So let's try to keep everything a little bit more clean and organized. And later, definitely, I will add him some like jewelry on face, so maybe like some piercing and whatnot. Yeah, let's arms, head, legs. Yeah, the ass definitely has to be visible. It will look nicely. Okay. Not really, because with lasso you don't have any like softening, so you can't really make a straight line with lasso. You can do it, but you will have some like imperfections here and there. Brush on smoothing, like 100% smoothing is extremely precise, and we've turned off opacity, like we've turned off pressure, so it basically is constantly 100% opacity. I would say it's much better than lasso. Polygonal lasso is good for technical stuff, for like hard surface type of things. The most precise is pen tool, but this shape is way too simple to do it with pen tool. It would be just basically a waste of time, so I won't be doing it with pen tool. But yeah, but you could. Cloth. So basically what I will do this. So I want the cloth to be slightly darker so I can see the difference. And yeah, a wedgie in here will be like this, kind of massive wedgie. I don't wonder how his backside will look like. Can imagine like this type of a monster just walking with like this songs, basically. And also this is a type of things that I like in art. You don't really have to be always all that serious with stuff like this. It's like supposed to be fun. So you can do like stupid shit like this. So let's say you can make a troll or ogre or whatever to wear like thongs. Because why not? We don't really know how they would like clothe each other. And you can just do something a little bit more silly, but still render it nicely and make it look, let's say, professional in a sense. Yeah, but honestly, the less tools I can use, it's usually the better. So in this case, I will just stick to just what works, because there's like zero reasons for me to like use any other tool than brush tool. It's just working. It's just doing its work fine. Okay. On the chainmail I will need to use some photo bashing, so soon I will do just this. Now let me select the main shapes, remove the shapes. Yeah, I mean there will be days where I will just feel like using the brush, the lasso tool, or the oh my god, how it was called, or the pen tool, but today I just feel like using brush. It's not really the most efficient way of working, but well, I don't really think I need to be efficient like 100% of the times. Sometimes I just prefer to do something slower, but just keep a bit more fun, or to relax a bit more while doing it, because in my case, stuff like this just is relaxing for me, so yeah. The stomach will be in with the legs combined, and the cloth will go like this. Because yeah, there is this like thinking that if you are a concept artist, illustrator or whatever, you need to be like extremely fucking fast. And yeah, of course it does help, but it mostly does help if you are like a freelancer and you take like 10 projects at the same time. In my case, what I really now like to do is to just slow down with everything and just do it slowly but surely, and it just works. Like I just feel I need to like work in this manner for like a longer period of time right now. And of course, if I will need to, for example, let's say hurry in a work to do something as fast as possible, I will try my best. But if I don't have to, I will take my time with everything. And also the thing is, if I just like save some time in here, I mean if I invest some time in here to make this like stage more precise, the rest of the painting will be much easier, much simpler, and much faster. So let's say investing an hour in here will later save me like 5 hours in the total process of like madness and everything. So yeah, it's just worth investing, especially if you are going for a little bit more like structurized type of a workflow. And in this case, I'm going for something like this. So let's say something in a vibe of how he was called. Not Centauran Nambioran, but oh my god, I don't remember the name. But the dude that I have been showing in the previous streams, that was also having a nice tutorials about rendering metal and everything. Oh my god, I have this like on the end of my tongue. The fuck was his name? He had this like weird name because he's from like more exotic type of a country, at least for me, considering the fact that I'm from Poland. He was something with N. Wait. Station. View profile. Following. No, likes. Yeah, he was Mongolian, but what was his... maybe he was Mongolian? I think so. Where is his artwork that I liked? No, exactly, Naran Batar Gunbolt. Yeah, exactly this guy. Yep, right, thanks. Yeah, so I kind of want to go with this a little bit more structured type of a workflow. So shapes, shadows, lights, flat colors, and just rendering. It just works. How do you improve best? That really depends what is your goal, because in my case I really want to get a little bit more like better with anatomy, definitely. So I do think this piece is one of the best in terms of like anatomy that I have ever done. And yeah, so this was like one of my goals. And I also want to get better with rendering in daylight. So this was also, I think it looks kind of okay-ish in those terms. And obviously I need a bit more highlighting here, but those are the things that are out of my comfort zone. But I am drawing a monster that is really heavily in my comfort zone from a game that I really like, that is also really heavily in my comfort zone. So this way I'm basically like doing the stuff that I like with the topics that I don't really feel comfortable in. So I'm kind of like making it easier on me. Like I'm picking harder topics that I can easily make easier by enjoying the thing that I'm drawing. So for example, if I would try to draw in a daylight like a female figure or whatever, this would be a total disaster, because I would be overwhelmed with the things that are heavy, that are hard for me. So I would have fuckload of problems to finishing the drawing, the painting or whatever. So I am like comfortably stepping out of my comfort zone in this case, I would say. And in my case, I noticed it's the best way for me to improve, because yeah, I'm just like, I'm stepping out of my comfort zone. I'm doing uncomfortable things in comfortable manner, because I don't know. So for me, it's, for example, it's much easier to think about like the volumes and everything on a monster than if I were to like draw an ass or whatever, because I don't really draw that much of an asses or boobs or whatever. I usually always preferred to draw more muscular monsters and stuff like this, because I just like anatomy and everything. And yeah, and I want to start drawing females, but this is like extremely hard topic. So for example, in here I will get comfortable with everything that I do in here, and then if I will feel that okay, I'm ready for a harder thing, I can try drawing female in a broad daylight, because I won't be stressing over the rendering that much. So I can like increase the level even more. And for the other things, how you can improve, just do stuff. It's like, it sounds really lame, but the longer I draw, the longer I paint. It's like everything boils down if you do it or if you don't do it. If you do a lot of the drawings, you will just get better at it. There's like no magic to it. If you want to draw, you won't get better at drawing, because yeah, this is like kind of obvious, but not really. And yeah, you just need to practice. Like for me, the biggest change in terms of like quality and everything that I have noticed personally was when I started working full time, because then I was basically forced to do the same thing over and over again on a daily basis, daily all the time, and I had to like watch a lot of like tutorials and everything to just figure some different stuff out. And I was getting feedback from people who are much more skilled than I am. So yeah, this was something that really helped me develop, and I feel the skill is increasing because I'm 100% sure the stuff that I'm doing right now with relative ease won't be possible for me, like let's say 1 year ago. I can 100% certainly say that what I do now would require much bigger effort 1 year ago. Even though it's not like the most complex things on the thing. What do I want to see? I don't know. Do like a geometrical study of a rhinoceros, and like since you already started drawing a rhino type of a character, so you can do something like geometry animal TYPHON. Actually, TYPHON has a lot of great drawings. So you can do, let's say, wait, Peter. Where are your drawings, Peter? Animal. No, so let's say something. This is from the Peter Han Bible, so stuff like this. He's basically like studying, so proportions, geometry, simple as drawing, like the geometry breakdown of a thing. This is how he is studying, and you like basically this is the best way to learn how to draw, to like simplify everything into like simple shapes. So yeah, basically just geometry. So stuff like this, let's say in here, whatever this is, I don't think it's his, but stuff like this is extremely valuable. So you just break down things into boxes and simple solids, then you can just like go over those. But for the things, the dude name is Peter Han. He actually has a really cool book, the Dynamic Bible, and he's one of the Super Ani artists. So he is like in the same group where you can find Karl Kopinski or even Mel Amundsen or Kim Young-gi. So yeah, definitely a cool artist. And he is also extremely nice. I was fortunate enough to meet him when I was at Promised Land Festival in Łódź, and dude is just crazy nice. He is just like a really likable human being. So let me see if I do have, whoops, if I do have all the original characters in here, and I do. So this dude is basically brown. So let me turn it off, slide it back to the left. So this Duderino is brown, but the highlights are really similar, so I will just grab colors from here, and I will simply just take the middle tones and I will simply use this as a flat colors. So for the flat colors, as always, let me do a display capture. I go to the color dynamics. Color dynamics are cool because I can do like hue jitter 5%, saturation 8, brightness 3, and now when I'm painting, it's basically jittering the color, so I'm getting a little bit more natural looking hues, and I can grab a brighter color, like a different color that I have in here, and it will give me much bigger variety of the colors, which is cool. So yeah, and I will wrap around with the strokes. So I can help to push the feeling of a geometry in here. So everything that is happening in here will just like wrap around it. So even on this level, it will slightly give your brain an information that it's wrapping around, because the texture will be, like, let's say, properly placed in a sense. The asterisks and the stomach and the hands, the arms. And so, for example, in here, I can also make the knees a bit with a different shade, something a bit like this. I kind of want different colors to appear throughout the entire character. So I can imagine the knees will be slightly more reddish, because they usually are. So yeah. And on the hands, whoops, not this layer, this layer. The hands, same story on the elbows, basically on the hands, because you have more blood in hands, so that's also kind of self-explanatory. So yeah, the color will just be more like this. And the same story on the face. More red nose, more red like facial area. Everything a bit more red around the eye. And more blood in ears, because ears are relatively thin. And yeah. So now I'm doing the flat colors, and I'm doing the flat colors the cloth, because soon I will make the entire layer with the shadows. So for the cloth, I can actually grab the color from the side, from the troll, and apply them in here. And do the same thing for the legs. So there will be some like cloth happening in here, some cloth in here. It does have like a black underwear. Mine will have, yeah, mine will have also a darker underwear, almost black type of a thing. And I don't really care about the color of the chainmail, because I will photo bash it anyway, so I don't really care. But for the armor on the legs, I want a dark gray to appear mostly. I don't really need to be extremely precise in here, because I will like most likely change the colors and hues a lot. Okay, something like this is pretty bueno. Yeah, so this is basically what are the colors of this fella. Let me just make sure that everything is nicely covered. Things like nails and everything I will just add later. I don't need to add them now. And what I want to do now is to duplicate all the layers, combine them into one layer, make it white, because now I want to draw the shadows over it. And I had the layer with the shadows somewhere in here in the backup, I do believe. Yep, I do. So the current layer, and no, this is the shadow. So for the shadow, I was using this bluish hue type of a thing. Yeah, I was using this color. So I want the shadows to be uniform with what I do have on the troll. So now first I will just draw them like this. So the first thing that I will do is I will draw a really hard shadows, and then I will like make them softer. Like in the areas where they need to be softer. I will pretty much will be in the shadow, because if you have like this massive type of a like bone over your eye, it will like hide your entire eye in the shadow. The nose will cast a really small shadow, even though it's a bit larger. The mouth will cast a shadow in here, in the mouth. Neck is in the shadow. Neck is in the shadow. And we'll do a shadow like this. And here, for example, because there's like no cast, well, reduce the strength. Let me take the smudging brush. So if the object is not casting a shadow onto something, the geometry will basically like get a soft shadow. Only a cast shadow is hard if you have like a really strong light source. So yeah, I mean it will be much harder. The bottom of the eye will be in the shadow. And after I will do this, I will see how bad it looks like. So yeah, now I'm flexing on the really special method, and soon it will most likely fail. So we will see how it will go. Stuff like this will cast some shadows. And again, if I would just spend like 10 hours on this type of a thing, and I will really refine it and just make a perfect like shadow layer, then it will make the entire process much easier and much faster and much more enjoyable. And maybe I should do it this way. Maybe I really should approach it in this smarter. And the Photoshop Pros. I need to reopen the file. Vertical. Okay. You go here. You go here. So on the chainmail, I only need like a really general type of light setup on like the big shape, because I will be adding photo to it, and then a lot of the photo texture will decide like how big will be the openings in the chainmail and everything. So I don't know if the openings will be like this, or like the shadows will be like this or like that. I just need to find a good reference that will like solve this problem for me. Whoops. And I'm doing the shadow on one layer because later I will just copy this layer several times and just like slap it over everything. So I will make sure every single layer gets the same treatment. And this arm, this is one of the things that is important, kinda, if he is like this, this arm is basically like this, and he has his legs like this, and the light is like this, this arm will go through like the middle of the leg. So this will be like the shadow from the arm, more or less. And now the shadow, even though it's cast shadow, like casted shadow, it will be slightly softer because the shadow source is more further away from it. So yeah. Increase the strength of a blur. So this basically is like a shadow slash ambient occlusion type of a layer, something along those lines. Just to get the general understanding of what is going on. One dude from my workplace is working with this method like really nicely, but the quality that he is able to push off like another level crazy. Go like this, and this leg will be slightly in the shadow. And here it's not that I do know like for 100% sure that this shadow will go like this. It's more or less just like an educated guess based on like many things that I have seen. So it's not like it will go like this, it will go more or less like this, and it looks okay for me, so just keep it like this. I do like it. I used to not really like it back in the days because I felt it's cheating, but this is the era where I was stupid. So yeah, Smart Tool is just a tool that is really convenient, and if you like using it, use it. Like, this is basically my opinion on every single tool that there is. If you like it and you feel it helps you, then yeah, use it. Whoops. Okay. So this is the shadow layer. Do I have everything for the troll in the troll folder? I don't. So let me just... Not in the troll, I mean in the slopes. So what I want to do now is I want to remove this. I want to keep this. I want to connect you. I don't really need you anymore. What I want to do is I want to turn on the backup and check the... Whoops. The shadow. It's already like painted over. This is like the shadow. Ah, okay, because the base color was really dark, and then I added the light with... Oh, then I added color with multiply, and then I added light with line dodge. More line dodge, more line dodge. Okay. So I was also adding light. That's good to remember. This is shadow. So this is... Oh, okay, it keeps the name. Nice, 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 nice. Oh yeah, but I was lazy. Wait, how can I smartly connect those all to limit the amount of layers that I have? This can go together. And this can go X Ctrl V like this. So I do get like a top part and the bottom part. That is enough. So I can limit myself to 2 layers, which is fun and cool. And multiply. And multiply. So these are the shadows. Now, let me search if I can like... Yeah, so this is basically the shadows. Now, can I duplicate it and make a linear dodge out of it? But not normal. Control U, colorize. Because it should be like slightly yellowish, the light source. Slightly yellowish. More goldenish, oh, like this. Can I make a linear dodge add out of it? But reduce the fill. I can. And I can make it skip the shadows. Oh. So basically be like 15. And fuck me for not saving the adjustment. Colorize something like this. -10. Now I'm trying to just do some layer modes to add some shadows and to add some lights. So basically I'm just trying to like relit the thing. So basically if let me put on a display capture. So I do have shadows, but I also want to have like light layer. And light layer, like the shadow is basically like this blue type of a hue that I can like or should increase in saturation, so the shadow will be slightly more bluish, but it does not really matter. And I want to have this layer that will be like a light layer, so it will be darker and a bit more golden, and it will be set up to linear.add because this is like a relatively good layer to add light, and this will basically make the thing to be lit up by like a light. So this is a cyclops, and this is how I did it on a troll. So basically I had like a flat color, then I added shadow, then I added more color, and then I added like linear.add, which was basically a layer looking like this, a really dark layer, and I duplicated it. So just add more light to the character, slight reflected light, and yeah. So I can duplicate this reflected light. Not troll. Go to the cyclops. This layer on top and this layer on top. So basically, top, bottom. So basically, I was just trying to add some like light to it. Well, to the character. And now I can push it even more because I want to add the general like blue hue to the character. Let's see how it will work. So the blue hue, really low opacity linear.add. I just want to increase the amount of light. It should be like only from the top, not the general light. This is like the filler type of a light. I'm honestly not sure what I'm doing. Like, I mean, this is not like a process that is 100% tamed. I'm just like trying some new stuff now, like a different combination of adding light to the scene. Because I'm kind of trying to work on this on a flat drawing. Just to give myself like a relatively okay-ish base to start rendering. Yeah, because shadow usually takes a color of the main light source, and because there's like basically a huge like blue dome over the entire character, and the shadow will be a bit more bluish. In here on the ground it will be slightly more goldenish because the light will reflect from the ground quite heavily, but generally the shadow color will be the color of the light source. And there are like many ways you can add this colors. For example, in here the color of the reflected light will kind of be like the chainmail, so the light will shine on a chainmail, it will reflect like basically like a gray or white light, and it will make the shadows a bit brighter. The same story in here, but since I want to kind of emphasize the ground reflection, I will add a bit of it like this. It does not really look convincing, but later I believe I will manage to like save it. Now I'm changing the like local color of an eye. And you can see I made a first huge mistake of, oh my god. I connected the shadow layer to the character. So I already messed up the layering, but well, tough luck, I guess now. I will have slightly more work to do. So I already managed to like mess up the layers. Okay. And now I will take the golden color, basically the color of the sun, so like really bright, slightly yellowish hue. And I will try to lit the characters. So low opacity, low flow, linear dodge or screen, not screen, maybe even overlay should be fine, because it does give like, nah, overlay is not fine. It should be this really, let me try really dark and saturated type of a color for it. Well, let me just adjust it. Less saturation, lighter, okay. Current layer. Yeah, so now it's more of a experimenting instead of like really knowing what to do, but yeah. Now I kind of just want to grab the proper tones. So once the color will be like, I feel it will be okay, then I will just proceed with rendering, and it all should be more or less fine. What? And also the thing that is kind of hard is rendering darker skin is a bit more tricky because it reflects light slightly different. But yeah. Whatever now I'm trying to achieve. Can try to do the same layer and just add a screen layer over it to slightly tone it. And also I can try to play a bit more with the hue of this dude to make like the skin generally darker and more saturated. I'm using the adjustment layers, so I'm basically like now trying to adjust the color. So I don't want him to be like orange, I kind of want him to be like more brown-ish. I don't know, but a good catch. Maybe there are just like their lord or whatever in there. Yeah, I like this color a bit more. It's more brown now. Yeah, so I guess the start is messed up because I already like accidentally joined the layers. I have no idea when I did it. When I joined the shadow layer, I wanted to keep it separate as long as I can, but I guess I just added a bit more work to whatever I was doing. But yeah, let me just turn on the swat, bit of the light. Let me just bring back the opacity of the line work. Let me hide this layer. Let me hide this layer. So I guess for today this will be enough. So this will be what I will be working with. And now I can also try to maybe, but just maybe, highlights. Oh, he has yellow eye. I have not noticed it. I can add some like highlights in here and there. Like just globally make him a bit brighter. But yeah, let me just also make the eye yellow and I will wrap it up. Because this dude has to have a yellow eye. Oh, and a yellow teeth. And a yellow claws. I'll just try to give him this like sick type of a color for an eye. Usually this type of a hue for an eye screams the liver problems, so I kinda want him this like livery unhealthy color of an eye. Some more. Yeah, something like this we'll have to do, and now I need to flex with the render and everything. So yeah, that will be all for today, and thanks anyone for stepping by. I will try to figure out why the Twitch was not working, and yeah, that's pretty much all. I hope you like the stream. It's a bit more chaotic, and I don't really feel like talking today this much, I guess. So if anyone's found the stream boring, sorry, but I hope you did not. So yeah, that's all, and see ya till the next time. Most likely I will stream on maybe Thursday, because this Wednesday I won't be able to. But yeah, thanks, and see ya till the next time.